Okay. Good morning, Rajni. Thank you for
Good
joining in
morning.
today's interview. How are you
Good
doing today?
morning. I'm fine, sir.
So, Rajni, since today you have come up for today's interview, can you please brief me about your profile?
Sorry.
Can you please brief me about yourself? Can you tell me something about
Yeah,
yourself?
I am Rajini. I have completed my MTech in the year 2016 in the branch of construction technology. So after my MTech, I came to this IT. I decided to change my career, and I have completed the courses like manual testing, Java, and Selenium from the Q Spiders, Baswan Kudi. But since I was 2016 passed out, I did not get any opportunities and I did not get any job. So I have decided to learn more and deep about it to deep about Selenium and Java, so that I can improve myself, and I'm looking for the job right now.
So, since you mentioned that you want to improve yourself, so do you think that you have not yet developed the skill set that to fit for the company?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Uh, Okay, so Rajni, I would like to know that since you have chosen to switch your career from a different domain to testing domain or the IT industry, so why did you choose testing as your profile and not uh, any other technologies or development languages as well?
See, to be frankly, I was very comfortable in my own field, and I was very well versed with construction technology subject. But I even tried for a government job. I wanted to, unfortunately I have got a job in site, but my health was not supporting me to stand under the sunlight. That is why, and I was very interested to. I even decided to work as a lecturer, but to become lecturer, PhD was mandatory. That is why my husband told me to change my career and try your luck, try your best to in IT field. So that is why I have come here. And since my childhood, I was very interested to learn C language and Java. So that is why I am very interested to learn this subject also.
Okay, since your childhood that you wanted to learn C and Java, but instead of learning C and Java, you followed a different passion. So your passion got changed. But right now you have once again changed your passion to software testing. So as you have interest for C and Java, you could have become a Java developer instead of a tester. Why you have chosen testing as your career?
Actually, I am very interested to take up the challenges, and I want to work in the very work which is very difficult for me, and I want to overcome my weakness. But due to some other external issues, and due to my health problems, I am unable to work hard. And I'm not telling that testing is very easy, but to become developer, we must be very well versed with it. And the problem is. I am unable. I am not getting time, sufficient time, since I have a family. So that is why I will work in the testing for 2 to 3 years, and later on, if I become very comfortable in Java, then I may shift to developing.
Okay, so you're mentioning that 2 to 3 years down the line, you will shift your profile as well from a tester to a developer. Then do you
Yes.
think that I should hire you because I am looking for a candidate for a long who is going to work with my company for a long time? But you have already plans to change your profile from a tester to a developer. So why should I be hiring you then?
Actually, I first initially I want to start up my career in testing, so that you can check how about my performance also, and I can make sure that and even I also can check about myself. And if I am very comfortable in testing, then I will continue in testing only. But in case if I am very well versed with it, and if I want to learn more, and if I have sufficient time, then I will shift to development.
Okay. So what do you think are the three best qualities that should be present in every tester?
Sorry.
What do you think are the three best qualities that should be present in every tester?
This test engineer should be very well versed with agile methodology.
So what is
And
agile methodology?
sorry,
What is agile methodology that you mentioned?
agile methodology is one of the type of one of the latest method to write to prepare the defect report and to find out the impediments during the workflow.
Okay. So the first point that you mentioned, that a tester has to be very good with other agile methodologies. What are the remaining two that you think? So I asked about three qualities of being a good tester.
No, sir.
Okay, not a problem. So in case if you are not selected in today's interview, what should be your approach for the next interviews?
Selected for
If you are not selected for today's interview, then what should be your approach for your future interviews?
in case if I am not selected, then I will I can improve myself. Then I can get any idea how to face a interview, and I will try to find out what are the impediments and what are the drawbacks I have myself, and I will try to improve myself, and I will go for the deep study, and I will prepare very well for the next interview.
Okay, thank you very much. And where do you see yourself after in the next 5 years of time?
After the next 5 years, I would like to become automation engineer.
Okay, you want to be an automation. So if you get selected in today's interview, you will be an automation engineer. So after 5 years also, will you continue the same profile, or do you have any goals in your life? Or you are going to change your profile as you mentioned?
With respect to any career, you're asking.
Uh, in respect to you, I'm asking basically that where do you see yourself?
I would like to see myself as a senior automation engineer in the next 5 years, and I have the dream of guiding the juniors in future, and I would like to help all the junior freshers and the juniors, and so that I too can improve myself.
Okay, thank you very much. And right. So with this, we come to the end of the HR questions. Okay. Uh, Amol and Govind, if you like to add something over here, you can ask.
I would like to ask one question, Rajni.
Yeah.
You have mentioned about agile methodology, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
So, yeah, can you please tell me a few advantages of agile methodology?
Um, I'll explain as flow by sir. We get the requirements when we get when the company get the requirement, that we will get the requirement in the form of the user study, and we got the commodity developers and the test manager. They all the team and the team leaders will decide they will go through it, and they will divide the system study into 5 groups, or depending upon the requirement, and they will into story card, and they will select first story card. They will decide which story card has to be executed first. So that is first the selected the priority. The prioritized story card is called as a sprint backlog. Sprint backlog.
Sorry, yeah, sorry, Rajni, but if you like speak about advantage, then it should be in single line. It should not be like in paragraph or something.
Okay. Then after that, the developer will estimate how much time it will take how much time it will take to go to execute to coding it, and test engineers will also decide how much time it will take to test. So that is called as a story point. And we being they coders will develop coders will go through the prepare the high language design and the low level design, and at the same time test engineers will prepare the we'll go for the system study first. If we have any queries, then we will approach the test lead, and otherwise we approach the customers also, clients also. So that is called as a system study. So first to understand the requirement is nothing but system study. So after system study, we go for smoke testing. So smoke testing is nothing but we go for the navigating throughout all the features before we go for the other test is called as a smoke testing. So after smoke testing, at the same time we receive the build from the developer. After receiving the build from the developer, we prepare the text. We prepare the reports, and we test cases. We also prepare the defect report, and at the same time we receive the second build from the developer. And when we receive the second build, then we will do the regression testing. So regression testing is nothing but changes in the new model may affect old module.
Okay.
So we have to find out.
Right. So I guess the question I think you have not followed. It was just the advantage. It was not asked you to explain the entire process, and there should be some pause when you are answering. Right? You are going like a bullet train, so it's fine. It shows that you might be aware of the things, but yes, we need to ensure that we follow the questions and answer based on the questions. But anyways, not an issue. So we are going to start with the technical rounds right now. So if you want to have a glass of water in between, you can have.
What?
Now, if you want to have a glass of water in between, you can have. We are going to start with the technical rounds.
Yes.
Okay. So the first question that I would ask over here is, what is software testing?
Software testing is nothing but finding the defects. It's called as software testing.
Yes, Rajni, I would like to ask one question. Can you please tell me what is smoke testing?
Smoke testing means we do the testing before we go before we submit to other before we do the other testing is called as smoke testing. Whether it is eligible for the other testing to check, we do smoke testing.
Okay. So
Okay.
what are the different test levels?
What are?
What are the different test levels?
Yes.
Okay, not a problem. So can you tell me the difference between static and dynamic testing?
Difference between?
Static and dynamic testing.
No, sir.
Not a problem. So, do you know what is white box testing?
Yes, sir.
Can you
White
please?
box.
Yes, please
White
continue.
box testing is nothing but testing testing each and every line of code is called as a white box testing. So it is usually done by the developer.
So the developers perform this testing.
White box testing, unit testing is done by the developers.
Okay. Do you know the different types of white box testing? Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So there is something called as verification and validation in testing, right? Have you heard about that?
What, sir?
Verification and validation.
Yes, sir.
Can you please elaborate on it? What is verification and what is validation? No
Okay,
problem.
so not an issue.
Yes.
So tell me, like, if what is ECP, that is equivalence class partitioning? Do you know what is ECP?
Can you please repeat?
Yeah, equivalence class partitioning. Are you aware about this? What is equivalence class partitioning? No. Okay. Okay. You are you aware of defect life cycle?
Yeah.
So can you explain me?
Defect life cycle. We have bugs, errors. and defects, errors, bugs.
Okay, not an issue. Tell me, say, if I give you a mobile phone, okay. So, what would be your first 5 priority test scenarios that you will be able to test it?
Priorities in bugs or testing, sir?
No, I said if I give you a mobile phone,
Yeah.
okay, and what would be your 5 topmost scenarios that you will be testing that a mobile phone?
Means we check the in mobile phone we whether it is working or not, whether it is if we open the message box, whether the message box is opening or not, we check that, and we check make sure that all the apps are working, and we make sure that the outgoing and incoming is coming. So we perform the ad hoc testing initially.
Okay, what is an ad hoc testing?
Ad hoc testing means testing the application randomly, and we are not referring the JavaScript or any other automation script. So that is called ad hoc testing.
Okay, are you aware about gorilla testing?
Sorry?
What is gorilla testing?
Unit testing. Unit testing is testing testing each and every line of the code is called unit testing. It is usually done by developers.
Okay. Fine. So, Rajni, if tell me 5 scenarios that you will test in for a chair. For example, you want to test a chair which you sit on. Say 5 verification scenarios and 5 validation scenarios.
For example, if we suppose if we refer with Facebook. So if we open the Facebook application, we make sure that whether that there is a login frame and submit frame, and if there will be the username, we check. We go for pressman method. One valid and the 2 invalid. We check for it. So we type. We will type and make sure that there is no error. So that is a way of testing. Then we go to functionality testing, and also we perform the integration testing to check whether there is a model, 2 models are working. And when we click on the submit, the home page should be displayed.
Okay. So you talked about integration testing. So can you just brief me about what is integration testing in short, as well as its types?
Integration is nothing but testing the data flow between the 2 models is called as integration testing. Suppose in case if the 2 models are not working, then we will fix the dummy models. So that we will, by fixing with the dummy models, we will check with each model, and we will come to know which model is not working. So that is how we perform the integration testing.
Okay. So last question from my side. Just tell me about which are the tools that you have used and till like for manual and automation, if you have used any of the tools, and why those tools are useful.
For manual, I have used, means I have just gone through the CRM and Bactilla. So I just, I have seen that we can prepare the reports, and we can prepare the failed test cases as well as the passed test cases. We can divide it into priority wise, major bugs, and like that. We can even prepare the defect report. So Bactilla has many advantages, and also with using we are writing the test cases with help of ALM. So ALM is far better than Excel when come to Excel sheet. It has many advantages when compared to Excel sheet.
Such as compared to Excel sheet, what are the ALM to have what kind of advantages it shows?
Sir, 2 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, yeah,
Sir, can you please give me 2 minutes? Sir?
yeah. Sure, no problem.
Sorry, for
No
inconvenience.
problem. No problem. Yeah, it's fine. Um, so yes, Govind, if you can continue with the question.
Yeah. So I asked, you said about the Excel sheet and the ALM tool. So what kind of advantages you went through?
In Excel sheet, we need to enter the data manually. Like to prepare the test cases, we need to. But I have not I have not done in ALM sheet. But I have got to know that it is very much better than when compared to Excel sheet.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so yes, I would like to ask a question over here. That do you know what is latent defect?
Effect.
Latent defect. Okay, no issues. So I guess since you had been training yourself in testing, you might have come across test scenarios, test cases, and also written test script. So can you explain the difference between test scenarios, test cases, and test script? Means what is a test scenario? How it is differ from test cases and test script? Yeah.
The test scenario is nothing but it is one page of the application, and we are going to decide what action is to be done on that scenario. And test cases means when we click on the submit button. For example, when we click on the submit button, that the home page should be displayed. And when we click on the message button, that message inbox should be displayed. So that is the test cases. And we are
Okay.
going to find out what are the defects and what are the bugs we have found in that during the execution of the execution process.
Okay. Since you mentioned what are the bugs we find, so can you do you know what are the different categories of debugging?
Debugging and
The categories of debugging. What are the different categories of debugging?
debugging means in case if we have a duplicate bugs, then the developer is going to reject it.
Okay. So Amol, would you like to ask some question over here before we end?
Yeah, one last question from my side. Rajni,
Yeah.
can you please tell me what is bug?
Bug is nothing but errors when we are going to perform testing. We find when we are going when we develop some software or some application, and when it is not able or when we are not able to open that application, then we will try to find out what mistake it is. So there is nothing but error.
Okay, okay, it is nothing but error. Is there any difference between error and bug?
Yes, I have, but I'm not aware of it. I have to go through it once.
Okay, and how it is different from defect?
No, to be frankly, I don't know what is the types of defects. So I have to go through it once.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Can you please tell me any it's like by taking any example? Suppose let's say I have provided you one social media website, and there I told you like find out bug here. So how is your approach will be towards finding that bug?
Means first we are going to list all the bugs, and we are going to list out the defects in the defect report, and we are going to categorize based upon the critical, major, and minor bug. So we are going to fix the critical bug first based on the priority wise. major and minor.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Deep, I'm done from my side.
Okay, so Rajni, since you will be very new to the industry and everything, so I would like to see your opinion or how good you are in your thought process. That I'll come up with a scenario or with a question. I would like to see that how good are you with your thought process and everything. Okay, so suppose there are some issues that are happening within a team. Okay, so you're working in a team. There are some issues that are happening in a team. So, what are the common mistakes that basically leads to such kinds of issues within a team for you?
Means we find many problems during that process. Like we may not be have the means time is not sufficient. We may not get the sufficient time. Because in within 2 hours we need to finish all the types of testing. In that time we find very difficult to manage with it.
So, for you, it's the sufficient time. Might be the project has not been given the proper time because of which this issue is getting created. Do you any other thoughts on this? Any other point besides time issue?
Means we may be able to mistake mistake the feature as a bug. And sometimes what will happen, the bugs we may misunderstand the bugs, and when we
Okay, you
submit
are saying that the features of that application can be misunderstood as like a bug. Okay.
yeah, sometimes what happens, client may not have mentioned that feature. That
Okay.
feature. So in that case, when developers prepare that feature, and we may find it as a bug. So
Okay.
there will be a miscommunication between that testing development and the client and the test engineer.
That's very true. That quite happens within the industry. Well said. So, Rajni, before we end, do you have any questions that you want to ask to any one of us?
No, sir. I just wanted your feedback about my in which area I have to improve myself, because
Okay.
I can answer one-to-one answer, but I was not able to explain the agile methodology. So in that
No,
case,
not a problem.
no, I don't know how to explain the agile methodology. I just know the procedure, but I could not explain well. So I just
Not a
want your
problem. See,
feedback.
yes, absolutely. So don't worry, we are definitely going to sit one to one and will discuss the entire interview that you have gone through today. There are some good points as well. There are some areas of improvements as well. So we are going to discuss elaborately everything. So do not worry on that. So yes, Rajni, with that having said that, we come to the end of today's interview. It was very nice to meet you and to know you more. And I'm hopeful that you will overcome all the challenges that you faced in this interview in your future interviews. Okay. Thank you very much for joining in. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
thanks, Rajni. Thanks, everyone.